Hello and welcome to Powerbench. Today I'm going to be testing this EC Technology portable power bank. I bought it from Amazon about 8 weeks ago on a lightning deal and it cost me £7.64. It claims to be 5,200 mAh, single USB port, and I haven't opened it, haven't used it, so we'll see what it is. So in the box we've got a little booklet, instruction manual, £5,200 mAh, 5V 2 amps input, 5V 2.4 amp output, 19.24 watt hours. Looks like it's got the standard 4 blob. Charge status, we've got a little thank you card, fair enough. That's the power bank. And a micro USB cable. It looks okay, it's sort of standard, it's not super thin, it's EC branded, which I don't know if you can quite make out there. Doesn't feel horrendously thin, but as we know that's not a guarantee. There's almost no strain relief though, a little bit, but we'll test that anyway. Power bank itself comes with one of these, the nice sort of soft touch plastic bags. So it's round. There's a power button on the side. Feels reasonably sturdy. It's good size. It's not dramatically heavy. So it is about 95mm long. 43 wide, about 25 at its highest. Just adjust the brightness slightly. Yeah, it's just about 25 high. And it weighs 124 grams, 123.8. So that's not too bad. Turn that off. Probably be helpful. So if we press it's got 3 blobs lit. That's a good sign. So I've had this sitting on a shelf for 8 weeks. So it obviously does retain a reasonable amount of power over a decent time, so that's a promising start. Let's test the wrong way up. Make sure that's turned down. 5.2V output, that's not too bad. It allows for a bit of loss in the cable. How does that change if we crank up the current? Still above 5V at 1 amp. So it claims to do 2.4, but for the sake of consistency, 2.1, 5.1V, that's fine. 2.4 amps. Still outputting just above 5V, which is great. And it starts to drop off just above 2.4 amps. Which is fair enough. 2.44, 2.5, yeah, 2.5 amp it starts to cut down, so that's reasonable. What does it advertise that it's capable of? Interestingly, we've dropped to 1 blob now. So it advertises 2.4 amps. So that's reasonable. Okay, let's see how good the cable is. I'll put this on charge, and then we'll do a capacity test. So the built-in cable is, it's quite a long one. Standard micro USB to USB-A, and it is, what's that, 25, it's about 50 centimetres long. So that's unusually generous for especially a small power bank, but fine. So let's remove the power supply. So normally 5.14 volts is the right answer for this, but we will test. So at 2.1 amps, which is what we test everything at normally. Turn the power up. Too far. These dials are annoyingly imprecise. Right, 5 volt, 2.1 amps. There we go. So we'll plug in the cable. Make sure we get the right socket. .75 volts, so 0.25 volt drop at 2.1 amps. So that's 5%, which is okay. It's a reasonably generous cable. It's not spectacularly good, but it's not awful either. Perfectly adequate. We go up to 2.4. We drop 0.3 volts, give or take. So again, that's okay. Nothing to be too ashamed of there. It's not an amazing cable, but it's not a bad one. It'll certainly do. Right, I shall charge this up and we'll do the capacity test. Right, I've got this plugged in to this meter so we can see the power it takes to fully charge it from whatever capacity at the moment. As it's charging, it's doing the standard thing of flashing the current powered blob. So this, I'd guess, is somewhere between 25 and 50%. Oh, somewhere between 50% and 75%. We'll see how that works a minute. What are we at the moment? 28 milliamp hours. So it's only just ticked in. So I think it was teetering on the edge of about half full. So not too bad, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see how much power it takes to get it charged up. So blob number 4 is now flashing. We're at 5,740 and 50 milliwatt hours, which is fine. And it is fairly consistently drawing 2 amps, like it says it does, so all good. Well, all 4 blobs are lit, but it is still drawing 1/4 amp. So I don't know that it's actually fully charged. Whether it seems quite high for trickling. So I'm going to leave it for a little bit longer. See what it actually does. It's taken 11,600 milliwatt hours so far, which is just over half, minus a bit for conversion losses. Would seem to fit with it being about half full when it arrived. So we do seem to be trickling now. It's currently drawing 50 milliamps. So it does, when the 4th blob is lit up, there's still a reasonable amount of power left to be charged. So we've done 2,412 milliamp hours or 12,128 milliwatt hours. So it's what, 2/3 allowing for losses. So yeah, I think this was just under half from when it arrived. So on to the capacity test. Actually, before we do the capacity test, I want to do the pass-through test. That meter's not going to fit the downside of USB ports being too close together, so nope, no pass-through power output being at all. So that answers that question. Right, I'm just going to start up the oscilloscope and then I'll be back in a sec. Right, we're ready for the power test. This is fully charged. Fix the focus. So I've zeroed out the meter. So 2.4 amps here, 2.4 amps here. The oscilloscope's measuring 2.4 amps, 4.88 volts, or 4.96. It does vary slightly as it jumps to the top and the bottom of the line. Current 4.91 is the average, so it's fine. So we'll leave this. Let me just adjust the focus slightly. There we go, that's a bit better. Right, I'll let this run. Well, there we go, it's just switched off. Nice and cleanly by the looks of things. I'll have a look over the history. I'm just going to, what have we got here? So it's quite warm. Just unplug that. Unplug that and see what the meter reports. Wow, that USB connection is really hot. 15,095 milliwatt hours, which is not amazing, but it's not terrible either. If you look at the specification, 19.24 watt hours. So, what do we say? 15,095. It's not great. Divided by 19240, that's 100. 78% efficient, which is on the low side if I'm completely honest. I can tell you that is sufficiently warm. In this, I don't know how hot this is, I don't have a thermometer up here, but that is sufficiently hot that I would be, this has generated a lot of heat, so a lot of that energy would have been wasted. It's much warmer than I think any of the other power banks I've tested. So whether it's better, if you charge it at 2.1 amps, it might be a bit better, I don't know. But it's okay. It's not amazing. It's not terrible either. It's fine. I'll review the footage before doing final summing up. So I'll be back in a minute. So this power bank, the EC Technology 5200 milliamp hour, it's okay. It's not amazing. It does run hot, which I think accounts for the slightly less than stellar efficiency rating, but it's close enough. It's 80%, which is slightly under. which is okay. It's not brilliant, it's not terrible. The cable it comes with is, again, it's okay, it's not terrible. It does feel nice, it's a good size, it's reasonably sturdy, it feels like it'll last in a bag, and it's not too heavy, so it's a perfectly good power bank if you want something to carry around with you. One thing I did notice is that when you plug it in after it's been discharged, there's not enough power to light up the meter, and it does flash the one blob light at you, just to let you know. So would I buy another one? I didn't pay much for it, so maybe. They did cut the power off cleanly. At the end there was about a period of probably 3 minutes where the voltage was dropping periodically by about half a volt. So for the last 3-ish minutes of charging, if you've been using something like a high drain device like an iPad, it probably would have started flickering between the charging and not charging mode, or it would have backed off on the current draw, I don't know. So it's okay, it's fine. It's a small power bank. It basically meets the specs it claims it does. It was reasonably cheap. The only thing that's a little bit annoying is that since I bought this, they do seem to be currently out of stock. So I will put a link on the website to where I bought this. But it's entirely feasible that actually it was on the Lightning deal and it was cheap, because they're not doing these anymore, which is a bit annoying, because I've done this review and you may not be able to buy one. But that's the way it goes. I'm working through my backlog, so there will come a point where I don't have more power banks to test, and there'll be less of a time delay between acquiring them and testing them. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the Powerbench channel. That get my subscriber numbers up always helps. Please subscribe. I'll try and do these regularly. And if you don't want to watch the videos, I do have a website at powerben.ch. There'll be a brief write-up for every review I do, so if you don't like to see the making of videos, then you can just read the website. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.